Good morning. It is Thursday, February the 16th, 2023. I'm Pearson Bowen. This is a CBC Morning Report. The 44th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in the Bahamas officially got off to a start last evening. Regional leaders and special guests, which included Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, gathered at the Atlantis Bahamas Hotel for the official ceremony. During her speech, Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, noted over the next few days the meeting would be focusing on the pressing issues for the region. One of these is the ongoing humanitarian and security situation in Haiti.
CARICOM and indeed the wider international community continue to struggle to help Haiti resolve its multifaceted crises. We will continue our efforts to assist all stakeholders in Haiti to ensure a Haitian-owned resolution to the crises. We will have to show the resilience and the fortitude of the Haitian people as we strive to overcome challenges and advance the initiatives to improve the lives of all citizens of our Caribbean community.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, says the country remains committed to strengthening the Caribbean single market and economy. However, he says this cannot be achieved without addressing the current state of intra-regional travel.
The reality is that it is too difficult and too costly for the people of the region to move and exercise their rights within the single space created for them to do so at optimal levels. For example, coming to this meeting in Bahamas is a classic case in point. Many of us had to fly to Miami, overnight there before taking a flight the following day to our destination here in Nassau, Bahamas. It takes no less than 24 hours to move from country to country within our region at times.
In other news now, the Fair Trading Commission has set a deadline for the Barbados Light and Power Company to shut down its steam plant facility on the Mighty Griner Highway. It was one of the orders coming out of the FTC's decision on the BLPC application for a rate increase. Hearing Commissioner and FTC Deputy Chairman Dr. Donnelly Carrington issued the order.
The Commission directs that BLPC shall discontinue operation of steam plant S1 and place the unit into reserve operation status through its retirement as soon as possible, but no later than December 31st, 2023. As such, the BLPC will include the steam plant S1 operating and maintenance costs in the calculation of costs recovered through the fuel cost adjustment recovery mechanism. The Commission will consider the prudency of and the recovery of fuel and operating costs associated with the steam plant S1 as part of its review of costs recovered through the fuel cost adjustment.
Dr. Carrington has instructed the utility to provide monthly reports for each generating unit as set out in the decision. There was also much discussion about the BLPC's self-insurance fund. The FTC Deputy Chair says there needs to be an adjustment there as well.
We have asked Light and Power to put the money back into a regulatory liability account which they will amortize over a 30-year period. That will reduce the insurance expense as filed by Light and Power. So therefore, while they might have requested a 12 million increase, or in their revenue requirement, 12 million, for example, of insurance costs, we have approved 8 million for the insurance expense because they're supposed to match some of that expense now by redepositing into the self-insurance fund.
Government, through the Minor Offences Amendment Bill, is not attempting to criminalize Barbadians or stop them from enjoying the age-old pastime of kite flying. The legislation allows people to fly a kite for as long as they wanted to, as long as it did not have a bull, given the noise nuisance at night. Minister of Energy and Business Development, Senator Lisa Cummins, says there's been a lot of debate on the bill in the public sphere, which she sought to address. She reiterates it prohibits the practice between the hours of 7 in the evening and 6 the following morning.
People come out with lawnmowers, and for people who work long hours, people who are studying at night, I often go to bed at 2, 3 o'clock. So if somebody starts a noise at 6, it really wakes me up. If they started at 5, it ruins what is my night's sleep. And for a lot of people who are working shifts, students who are studying, people who are looking after the elderly, and are themselves getting very little sleep, or for the elderly who have difficulty sleeping. And Senator Rogers was some people in my age group and over my demographic, how we can filter noise and so.
We do apologize. We'd hoped to bring you that extract from Senator Lisa Cummins. Instead, we heard from Her Honour Senator Elizabeth Thompson. Independent Senator the Reverend Dr. John Rogers queried why legislation had to be formulated to prevent people from flying noisy kites at night. He says this points to a society where people are not their brother's keeper and highlights the issue of noise pollution and its impact on the citizens, particularly the elderly.
It really comes down to this lack of respect for the other and this lack of discipline that has entered in our society, where it seems as though even the elders who in the village setting or even in the household would have been able to say, you know, don't do that, cannot even say that anymore. It doesn't have any impact. It speaks to a society where people, and though it's a minority, it's significant enough a minority for us to have to come in here to do this.
Senator Rogers says government may have to relook at the daytime hours as well. Well, coming up on the CBC Morning Report, we'll tell you about an effort in Guyana to increase oil production.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.
Guyana is on track to producing 1 million barrels per day. Officials say the country's oil potential could be even greater than anticipated. We have more in this NCN TV report.
The ExxonMobil Guyana president says the LeadHER field is producing over 300,000 barrels per day, utilizing the FPSOs LeadHER Destiny and LeadHER Unity. He says this feat is achieved through strong safety, reliability, and production optimization performances.
Last year, so LeadHER Phase 1 and Phase 2 are both online and now producing in excess of 380,000 barrels per day. So great for the country. Just think, production started in 2019.
Routledge adds that Guyana is on the path to producing 1 million barrels per day by 2027. Meanwhile, the third FPSO, Prosperity, will sail from Singapore later this month and will see the commencement of production at the Payara development. This is expected to produce an additional 220,000 barrels a day, which will bring the production capacity to 600,000 barrels per day. Further, production of the One Guyana FPSO has commenced in Singapore, which will produce around 250,000 barrels.
Where they have actually started the fabrication of the topsides of the One Guyana FPSO, which will develop the Yellowtail resource. That project is on track just now for the late 2025 startup, consistent with the original funding plan.
Routledge says ExxonMobil is pursuing the requisite government and regulatory approvals for the Uaru project, which is estimated to produce around 250,000 barrels a day and bring production capacity to 1 million barrels per day. Moreover, ExxonMobil has applied for the environmental authorization for the Whiptail project.
Agriculture officials in St. Kitts, in a bid to reduce the population of monkeys on that island, will be deploying some 500 monkey traps. The animals are causing destruction to farm crops throughout the country. A report now from ZIZ TV.
Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, in a recent interview said the monkeys have been a significant threat to our food security here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and they are a nuisance to many of our farmers. Our program here at the Department of Agriculture is to help to control that and improve food security agenda. Acting Director at the Department of Agriculture, Janelle Kelly, spoke on the issue, noting that the Department of Agriculture has been dedicated to assisting the farming community with the establishment of the Feral Control Unit. The acting director also stated that we want to have this discussion and consultation with our stakeholders to come up with new ways and new avenues in which to reduce the population.
St. Lucia's Ministry of Health and Wellness is putting the public on alert of an increase in cases of respiratory ailments. According to the Chief Medical Officer, the education sector has been hardest hit. HTS reports.
Coughing, wheezing, chest pains are all signs of a respiratory illness. The ailment is reportedly on the rise in St. Lucia. The spike, which is allegedly having a considerable impact on the particularly vulnerable education sector, is being actively monitored. That's according to a statement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Over the last few weeks, parents note that children seem to be developing recurrent respiratory infections. Most of the cases are mild in nature. This trend is anticipated as the measures that were placed during the management of COVID-19 also reduced the regular influenza cases over the last 3 years. Our population is now exposed to many different strains of influenza virus at this point.
The Ministry of Health notes that the increase in respiratory illnesses has impacted a wide range of age groups. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George says that over the last 30 days, from January 8th to February 6th, St. Lucia recorded 178 cases of COVID-19 and 1 COVID-19 death, with the 25 to 49 age group most affected. The highest incidence of cases was noted in Grosley and Babono.
These numbers are low due to reduced testing in country. Hospital admissions for COVID-19 remained below 5 cases daily for the last month. The Ministry of Health is closely monitoring the emergence of new variants and subvariants of COVID-19. At present, we have sequenced about 12 subvariants of Omicron circulating in country. In addition to COVID-19, there are other respiratory viruses in circulation which may possess similar clinical presentation to COVID-19. In several countries, there's been a steep increase in influenza and respiratory syncytial virus.
A visitor in the midst of an extraordinary quest touched down in Bermuda to pay respects to their war dead. Australian Mick Whitty is on a mission to visit every Commonwealth war grave cemetery in the world. It's a 30-year project, and the 55-year-old has already spent 8 years biking through Europe. Bermuda has 12 Commonwealth war grave cemeteries where veterans of the 2 world wars are buried. We have a report now from Bermuda Broadcasting.
We caught up with him making his first visit in Bermuda to one of 12 sites, Prospect Cemetery in Devonshire.
I was homeless and sleeping rough for a couple of years in Wales, in the UK, and after a while I rediscovered my grandfather's 1916 diary. So he was in the Australian artillery on the Western Front in France and Belgium. And I always knew I had it, but I'd forgotten that it was 1916. So in late 2015, when I rediscovered it, I thought, oh, I could do something with this.
Nearly 100 years after the diary entries were written, Mr. Whitty set off to France, Belgium and Turkey following his granddad's movements during the First World War. Living many months in France, as his grandfather had done while on the front line, Mr. Whitty filled his time visiting military cemeteries, and it sparked another idea.
So, a bit like Forrest Gump, I just kept going. So my new goalposts is to finish Bristol Cathedral, VJ Day, Victory in Japan Day 2045, and cycle to every Commonwealth war grave location in the world.
Mr. Whitty will be 80 by time he reaches all 26,530 cemeteries, and through his journey he's relied on the generosity of the people he meets along the way.
The alleged torture of a student at the University of the West Indies at Mona by another has sent shockwaves across Jamaica following social media reports of the sheer brutality and alleged torture with what appears to be an iron, among other things. Gender activist Opal Palmer Adisa is calling on the UWI to institutionalize a termly behavior orientation for its students. She says the university has policies and students should further be made aware.
The horrific incident, which played out at one of the nation's universities, has sent shockwaves across the nation, magnifying the need for urgent and immediate attention. Opal Palmer Adisa, gender activist, is calling on the University of the West Indies to institutionalize a termly behavioral orientation for its students.
Every term, the guild should have an orientation for students that talks about behavior and what is acceptable and not acceptable, and to invite students to be each other's keeper.
This after an initial report led to the discovery of a first-year student who was allegedly being tortured by her boyfriend. Both the alleged perpetrator and victim were found here at the Georgia Lane Hall. The boyfriend was arrested and charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. Palmer says the university has policies and students should further be made aware.
The university has policies. We have worked for many years charting our sexual harassment policy, making sure it has correct procedures and things like that.
Meanwhile, Amalora Wilson, president of the Guild of Students, says the Guild is working in all its power to ensure justice is being served.
Human Rights Watch has called the UN's humanitarian response to earthquakes in Syria inadequate. The rights group is calling for urgent help for those who have been affected. We have a report from Al Jazeera.
The rebel-held Syrian town of Jintaris is close to the border with Turkey. For 12 years it survived with barrel bombs and artillery shells launched by the Syrian army. But an earthquake leveled most of it in seconds. More than a week has passed since 2 quakes struck this region, and people here say there is no sign any help is on its way. They are struggling to survive on their own.
We desperately need tents. I can stand the cold, no problem. I can sleep anywhere, no problem. But there are women, children and injured who we took out from under the rubble who need care. I just dropped my kids off at the hospital. Their whole body is all blue.
For years, neighboring Turkey has sent help to people here caught in civil war. But the earthquakes have disrupted that and worsened their suffering.
From the first day, we had around 3,900 families who were affected without any shelter. We had 270 buildings that were completely destroyed. Around 1,000 buildings are not suitable for use. We have 3,900 families who have no shelter.
Last week, the United Nations started sending aid into Syria through border crossings with Turkey after the Syrian government announced it would cooperate. And shortly after, its representative visited the affected area around Aleppo.
The trauma of the people we spoke to was visible. And this is a trauma
which the world needs to heal. And the reason we're here is because we want to raise money for the brave organizations which are helping these people of Aleppo, these people of Syria.
Other humanitarian agencies and countries in the region have sent aid shipments by air to Damascus International Airport. But quake survivors in opposition-held areas in the northwest say none has reached them.
We want our voice to reach the whole world, but where's the aid? There are hundreds of people who still need tents, and they don't even have somewhere to sit. Find us a solution. Where is this aid coming from? Let's see. Aid is never going to come here.
Michigan State University is in shock and mourning after 3 students were fatally shot on Monday night on campus. The tragedy occurred hours before the 5th anniversary of the mass shooting at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. CNN's John Lornick reports.
St. Paul on the Lake Catholic Church in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, filled with family and friends of Brian Fraser. The sophomore was the president of the Michigan Beta chapter of Phi Delta Theta, who described him as a great friend.
This isn't thoughts and prayers. We need change, and we need change now.
Ariel Anderson and Alexandria Werner, both juniors at MSU, were also fatally shot. 5 more students were critically injured.
We now have a complete generation that's grown up with this many times over as just a part of from elementary school all the way up to now. And now we're looking at this at the college level as well.
MSU police say the 43-year-old gunman, Anthony McRae, shot himself during a confrontation and died.
Does it look like he's self-inflicted?
Medics are en route. Is he conscious, breathing? What's the status?
He's not moving.
But he may have been planning more attacks. According to authorities in Ewing, New Jersey, a note found in McRae's pocket made reference to 2 schools in that area. And a source familiar with the investigation says the 2-page note mentioned past shootings as well. According to a source, the note also said there were others like him to incite violence at other schools.
How can we help everyone stay safe so that there isn't another superintendent giving this press conference, or more importantly, another set of parents that are getting this terrible grieving information?
Well, we're just 7 minutes away from the start of Morning Barbados, when this Thursday morning we'll continue to highlight the achievements of our young people, some of who would have received national awards just recently. We'll also be telling you about the LeadHER campaign. The competition is on and the deadline is approaching. The details we will share with you this morning. Also this morning we'll meet the man behind that theatrical production, Manchild. Lots of questions to ask him when he joins us at 6:30 on Morning Barbados. The morning report continues in just a moment.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MC.
The price of animal feed increases from March the 15th. The news from Pinnacle Feeds Senior Commercial Manager Denisha Mears-Gardner.
Pinnacle Feeds will therefore be adjusting the price of its feed products by an average of 8% over existing prices. Pinnacle Feeds will continue to closely monitor international grain prices and will continue to support the local community with quality feeds that provide the best value for money.
Well, Pinnacle Feeds has pointed to the war between Russia and Ukraine, as well as a strong demand from China and uncertainty over the supply from South America owing to adverse weather conditions as reasons for the increase. Workers at the United Commercial Auto Workers Limited, or UCAL, downed tools yesterday in protest over a number of outstanding issues that date back as far as 2019, from health and safety issues to wages. General Secretary of the Employers Representative, the Barbados Workers Union, Tony Moore, believes the workers have been more than patient with the board and the management. She spoke to the media at UCAL's Weymouth headquarters, where she said there are currently 20 outstanding grievances still on the table.
Many of them relating to health and safety and allowances and conditions and situations surrounding assignments where workers are being apportioned blame and assignments not given in a favorable enough way that the workers can undertake the work that has been given to them, and yet they're being blamed. So the situation today is not about untimely payments, as one might assume, although what remains a significant concern for workers is the fact that for 12 years now, they have been unable to get a salary increase.
Ms. Moore says the situation is largely owing to the fact that UCAL has been owed money and continues to be owed money, with a resulting negative impact on its cash flow.
As a result of being owed that money, it has incurred a number of expenses relating, a lot of them relating to penalties and interest for commitments that it could not meet because of cash flow shortages on account of the money it has been owed. So all of this has exacerbated the situation and made it difficult for the workers of UCAL to be able to see increases along with that match and reflect the changes that are going on in the market, especially as it relates to cost of living.
Sports now. For the 5th time this year, there's a double zone champion at Napsack. Wilkie Cumberbatch staked claim to both the boys and the girls titles in the Ryan Brathwaite zone. They won the girls with 210 points to Blackman and Gollop's 194 and St. Catherine's 157. And in the boys, Wilkie tallied 264.5 to Blackman and Gollop's 213 and A. DeCosta Edwards 152. Here's a look at some of the action.
And the little one shall lead them, the under-7 girls 50 meters. Amusingly, everyone moves off in their own time, but out fast and furious is Kami Watkins of Wilkie Cumberbatch, and now to gaze Araya Sobers. And it'll be Sobers to take the win. Watkins second here, but third overall. The times 10:49 and 10:86. To the boys, fastest on the 7 over 50 meters hails from Ellerton primary athlete 4378 Jamarco Douglas. He was focused as his little feet turned over like a well-oiled rotator. He gets the line in 9.68 seconds, just ahead of A. DeCosta Edwards, Kyron Hinkson, and St. Mark's primary's Asher Brathwaite. From the 50s to the 80s, the under-9 girls, and they're on a pretty even playing field in the first few meters, but then just focusing on lanes 3 and 4, Blackman Goss, Araya Clark, and Wilkie Cumberbatch's Kaylee Howard-Jones. And with about 5 meters left, Clark surges ahead, and it's hers. The time, 13.05 seconds, and 4th overall. Hundreds now, the girls on the 11, and they're off. The athlete from Half Moon Fort almost tripping out Wilkie's Nyla Fitzpatrick Blackman, but that did not faze her as she had tunnel vision to hit the finish line first. She ran it so easily, stopping the clock at 15.17 seconds ahead of the Keisha Waith of Blackman and Gollop and St. Mark's Brianna Stevenson. The heat with the fastest girl in the Ryan Brathwaite zone. She hails from Gordon Greenwich Primary, coming off the line blazing and not looking back. She was pouring through. What a run by Jacada Skeet, kissing the sky in celebration as she crosses the line in 14.42 seconds. Second, Kalia Gaskin of St. Mark's, and in third, Tashera Messiah of St. Catherine's Primary. And who was the fastest boy in the Ryan Brathwaite zone? That title will be heading back to the Pine with Wilkie Cumberbatch's Delaney Burke, who wasted no time in staking claim to the title. Look at that form, arms and legs pumping, head down and focus on the task. It was all over in 13.87 seconds. What a race, and what a way to end our look at some of the action from the Ryan Brathwaite zone.
Let's turn our attention now to our forecast conditions for Barbados today and for tonight as well, as these figures have been recorded at the Met Office. At the moment, 25.2 degrees Celsius under fair skies, slight haze. The winds are coming from the east at 28 kilometers an hour. Expect today a low tide at 17 minutes after 7. We'll have a high tide at 12 noon today. Seas for Barbados today are predicted to be moderate in open water, swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and increasing. In the forecast today, partly sunny with a few brief scattered light showers. And in the forecast for tonight, mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers. A look now at some forecast conditions for some international cities. And that's the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Hello everybody, welcome indeed. Morning to you. It is Thursday, the 16th of February 2023. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you everywhere. Thank you so much for waking up to keep us company indeed on our streams on YouTube and Facebook. It's always good to have you there. Now today, we are going to be sharing with you some of the accomplishments of our nation's young people. They were recognized recently in the National Youth Awards. We want to hear their story, talk to them about their journey and perhaps their plans for the future. We'll also today be meeting the man behind that theatrical production, Manchild. I think the name alone sends a lot of bells ringing, so we want to hear from him the concept of Manchild and to share with you how you too can experience what he's thinking in his theatrical production. We'll also today be looking at the whole campaign of leading for just a moment in the shoes of female leaders. LeadHER, the competition is on, and we'll get the details in just a bit. But of course, as you know, we've been asking you all month long to go red for women. We've also been asking you to send us your photographs out of your Valentine's experience. But in going red for women, we're raising the awareness of cardiovascular disease in women in particular. The statistics say 1 in every 3 women will die from cardiovascular disease. There are lots that we can still do, and so we can show our support and raise our awareness by adopting the campaign Go Red for Women. We have some photographs, I believe, that we can share with our folks to see how you have been joining the campaign, even the little ones. This is so good to see. And the little girls with their bows and so on, the boy with his trimming, and the ladies are wearing their red all over the place. And this is good. This is good. Villy Scant, there you're looking so sharp. She's one of our regulars. And indeed, we want to thank you so much for taking and sending your photographs to us. We encourage you to continue to do so. Remember, as you do so, you can send them to Mornin Barbados at cbc.bb. Mornin Barbados at cbc.bb. That's our email address. And tag HSF Barbados at HSF Barbados, because it's their campaign. We are just joining with them. We want to encourage you to continue consider how you eat, and naturally how that eating impacts your cardiovascular system of your body indeed. So thanks. Continue doing so. Every Friday in the month of February, we're all encouraged to wear red, something red, from the tie to the sock, and I'm saying it like this, but from the skirt to the blouse to the hair ribbon, all of those kinds of things, wear red and eat something red as well, like apples and grapes, strawberries, gentlemen, tomatoes, all of those kinds of things, red for the month of February, because we're looking at cardiovascular disease. All right, let's get started this morning by joining in with Roshana Trim, who is the founder and project manager of LeadHER Institute, and with her is Miriam Van Nye, the political counselor with the High Commission of Canada to Barbados. Good morning, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Roshana, I'll start with you. Tell me a bit about this LeadHER campaign. Or we'll try to get Roshana's mic switched on. Y'all don't touch a thing. We will do it from here. You don't have to worry. We'll make sure that your audio doesn't go out until the time to do so. So Roshana, tell me a little bit about this LeadHER campaign.
Hi, good morning, Pearson. And the Leaders for a Day campaign is really a partnership between the British High Commission, Canadian High Commission, and Leadership Institute, and it focuses on engaging girls between the ages of 16 and 25. It allows for them to meet and learn from the British High Commissioner, as well as the Canadian High Commissioner on International Women's Day, while sharing values about the Commonwealth, democracy, and governance.
And Miriam, why do you think it's important for us to provide opportunities like this for the young women of Barbados and the young women of the region?
So thanks so much, Pearson, and so good to see you be here today with Roshana. We think it's really important to, in a way, demystify, what diplomacy is all about, so that young women leaders in Barbados are able to see that it's a possibility for them, that they may be interested in pursuing a career in diplomacy or pursuing a career in public service. And we think it's a great opportunity to share that experience with them on a one-on-one, day with High Commissioner Lillian Chatterjee and High Commissioner Scott Furston Wood. And that will give them this access and exposure to what this career possibility might be for them and spark their interest, if their interest isn't already sparked, in the work that their own country does at home and abroad, and how they work with partners like Canada and the United Kingdom.
And I suppose, Mira, that it also breaks down the stereotype that says there are certain jobs for women and there are certain jobs for men, and neither the twain should meet.
That is correct, Pearson. There are jobs for everyone. And so the job that you choose depends on you as an individual, whatever your gender expression, whatever your various intersectional identities, your race, your religion, your what you look like, how you choose to dress. It's about where your passion lies and where your goals are. I think it's really interesting that Canada made a commitment recently to have half of its ambassadors and high commissioners abroad be women. So we're now at about 49-50% every year of our representation abroad. So our High Commissioner here in Barbados is a woman, and we have many others across the world. So I think that's a great model as well.
How do you devolve oneself of not thinking it's tokenism to say we must have a quota? How do we get that out of our mind that it's tokenism?
So I think, don't use that word, and focus on the idea of equality and equity. There's a certain demographic in the world based on data that's available, and what we want to do is have societies and workplaces that represent what our society looks like. So if in a society, we have approximately 50% women and men and around the world with some slight variation, and the idea is to represent that, to offer equal opportunities in a way that is equitable to those who have been looked over in the past, who may not had the opportunity to access those spaces, and need a little extra attention, let's say, because we do live in a world that has for centuries put those who identify as men at the top of the ladder in so many different ways. So this is just the way to reflect what our society looks like. You look around your community, you look around and see who represents you, and you think, do those people represent what I see around me in the community? So what Canada is trying to do is make sure that our representatives abroad do represent that vast diversity, that mosaic that we like to call Canada, and it's very much the same for the United Kingdom.
And so, Roshana, that is what Leadership Institute is all about, providing that not just diversity alone, but reality that we face every day, that there are significant numbers of women who are forward thinkers, who are activists, who are really making a difference to our communities. Talk to me a little bit now about the campaign that you're on and how people can sign up to be a part of this opportunity provided by these two consulates.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely correct. That's what leadership is about, and it's for young women between the ages of 16 and 24 who, as Miriam mentioned, are interested in politics, in diplomacy, and want to get a up close and personal look with what that is and what it entails. And so they simply have to send a 1-minute video saying if they were High Commissioner for a day, explaining what they would do and one way in which they would raise awareness on issues of gender inequality if they were High Commissioner for a day. And they simply need to complete the Google form. It's available on all the social media sites, and send us the video, complete the form, and the entry is in, and it has to be done before Sunday, on or before Sunday, February 19th, 2023.
1-minute video. It's a 1-minute video saying why you think you can be the... Go ahead, explain it again to everybody.
A 1-minute video saying one way in which you would address gender inequality if you were a High Commissioner.
Right, and then you make your submission by Sunday, the 19th of February, and you wait until you are called up to say you are selected. And having been selected, what are the benefits that one derives from engaging with this?
So you get to spend 4 girls. We'll get to spend the day with the High Commissioners from Canada as well as the UK. And so they'll be able to go through the High Commission, visit the High Commissions. They'll also be able to sit down and have conversations and observe some of the activities that are happening within the High Commission. And it really is, like Miriam mentioned, to give you a background look into what diplomacy really entails and how both Barbados, Canada, UK, and other partners, how they engage in diplomacy daily. What happens in the High Commission? I think a lot of us want to know what happens inside.
Don't we all, indeed? So give us the age ranges that you're hoping that would send their 1-minute video in.
So from 16 to 24. If you are 24, because I know some persons may be curious, if you are 24, you can still send. So from 16, once you're 16 to 24, and in between those ages, you can send in your video.
Yes, you can let your curiosity lead you, yes, but you also have to let your interest lead you on this when you're making the submissions, because you don't just want to have frivolous people sending submissions in. If you're serious about seeking to know how diplomacy is meted out at those levels as High Commissioners to Barbados, then you definitely would want to enter this one indeed. And you said to us that the registration forms are on all lots of social media sites?
Yes, you can find it on Leadership site, Canada in Barbados, as well as UK in Barbados. You can find it on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook. And if you can't find it, you can also reach out to us via email, and we'll be happy to share that link with you.
And the email address to reach out to you at is?
LeadHER, LEADHER, ship, SHIP, institute @gmail.com. So that's Leadership Institute @gmail.com.
LeadHER, so I broke it down so you got it right. LeadHER Institute @gmail.com. That's the email address. If you're uncertain, if you have to pose some questions to get a little bit more clarity, by Sunday your submissions must be in. It's a 1-minute video. Of course, please be sure to include your name and your contact details so that you can be told that you have been selected, one of the 4 who've been selected to be shadowing the work of the High Commissioner of Britain to Barbados, and the same Canada to Barbados indeed. It's a wonderful opportunity for young women between the ages of 16 and 24 to really engage at the level of diplomacy, at that level as commissioners, High Commissioners to our island indeed. So grab hold of the opportunity, young people, and really make the best of it. Well done to you, Roshana Trim. We want to thank you as founder and project manager with LeadHER Institute. And thank you so much for joining us this morning, Miriam Van Nye, political councillor with the High Commission of Canada in Barbados. Thank you so much for being a part of the effort, but thank you so much for joining us on Morning Barbados as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pearson. Have a wonderful day.
You're very welcome. Likewise to you. We'll take a break right here, and we're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock this Thursday morning. The Thursdays are the days for our young people of Barbados, and so just recently a number of them have been recognized with National Youth Awards for their sterling contributions across our communities, indeed. We're joined now by two of them, who are Aliyah Joseph, who has received the Calabash Award, and that award is to an individual in the visual arts who's actively involved in or associated member of a culture-based organization. Aliyah, good morning to you. Joining her is Zachary Bostic. He has won the Baobab Award. That award goes to that individual in the performing arts who's actively involved in or associated member of a culture-based organization. Welcome to Morning Barbados. Congratulations.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Aliyah, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about what it means to you to be a recipient of a National Youth Award.
Well, I was not even expecting on the day to win that award. But for me, it means that my work has been seen and heard. And also that I have a lot more work to do when given that title.
So some would say, but I don't know her. What is this work that you have been doing that people have seen and heard?
Okay. Last year, in 2022, for my what you would consider my thesis, I created a documentary called Therapeutic Soul, which dealt with food shortage and also the COVID that hit us in that period. Mm-hmm. So I documented from the beginning all the process of people who decided to garden, do their own home gardens and follow my neighborhood, my community, as they made their park a community garden.
You could have closed your eyes to all that was going on, but you thought, no, let me capture this because this is a moment in time. What was it about the conditions at that time that caused you to think that this should not be overlooked? It ought to be documented.
Well, not only here, but overseas, a lot of people, as we all have our phones, we were seeing everybody was getting plants. Everybody was wondering, oh, I can't go to the supermarket at this time. What am I going to do? You know, I have nothing to do at home, actually. So a lot of people that didn't garden before decided, I want to garden. And I saw it a lot more within the neighborhoods that I saw it a lot of places. So I was like, this seems to be something that is going to be a big topic in this period. Yep. So I was like, I need to record it.
You know, you're so fortunate to have gone to Coleridge and Parry School. I applaud you for your excellence where that's concerned. I did too. And so you went on from there, though, knowing what you wanted to do, you sought to pursue it even more so. You took up studies at the community college, I believe it is?
Yes. I was at BCC in 2016.
Yeah. Because you're taking this seriously. How did you know that you were nominated in the first place?
I got a call and someone told me that they were going to nominate me. I was like, nominate me for? At first I did not know what it was. I was actually had to go on my phone and try to research and see what I was being nominated for. This is my first time being nominated for anything, actually.
Oh, and look at that, you won it. You won the award indeed. And so you sat there in the Frank Cullimore Hall with receiving your award from another recipient, Tahir. You sat there in the Frank Cullimore Hall, all of these nominees were being read, their citations read, and your heart was pounding in your chest. Talk to me about the moment that the announcement was made. What was going through your mind? What happened? What happened to you when you heard your name called?
Well, at first, I was there with my parents, and we were just saying, "Oh, look, Tahir gone up on stage," because he's actually my neighbor.
Oh.
So, at the moment, they were going back and forth, having the little talks on the stage, and I just said, "I was saying, who win? Just like, can we get to that part?"
Yes.
And all he said was, funny enough, it's my neighbor, and I just left it around because I'm not sure if there's anybody else in this room that is our neighbor. So I was like, until I heard my name, even when I heard my name, I was still like, me?
Yes, you indeed. And so congratulations to you. Now, Zachary, what is it that you do that made people think, yeah, he ought to have been nominated? What was it that you do in the arts?
Well, good morning, Pearson, again. I am a musician, a percussionist at the Age Level Foundation. So I partake, and I've been partaking in the cultural arts from since I was about, say, 4 years old.
Really?
And I've been performing since then until today, actually. So the recognition is very well received, and I very gracefully accept it. And I believe that's why people believe that I should be the winner of this award.
Yeah. You see yourself and you chuckle, right? Because you can't believe this little 4-year-old boy who had a passion for drumming, passion for cultural arts, even at this stage is still doing it. What is it about what you do that keeps you connected to it to really make it a part of your life?
Well, there's a lot of discipline in it because, as I said, I was doing it from young. So even in school, you would have rehearsals because we partook in the NIFCA several years, year after year. So the rehearsals for that and leading up to the prelims, the semis, the finals, even the NIFCA Gala, you have to rehearse. And we usually put on a very spectacular performance, I would say. So in order to reach that caliber of a performance, the rehearsals are very, I would say, intense because we, the drummers, are playing for the dancers. We have to internalize and understand what they are dancing. Some of us, like myself, a lead drummer, would have to solo sometimes or accentuate sometimes the movements or solo call for the dancers or whatever. So it really disciplined me, and then it took me on to teaching the same art that I am involved in. So I started teaching drums, and it really, in regards to giving back the knowledge that I would have learned and seeing how people, even ages from big and small, would enjoy it. So it's really heartwarming for me. So that's how it kind of really stuck to me to continue to do it over the years. And then even on the stage performing, I love it. So I just never stop.
I love it. I love it, indeed. Now, the Allen School must be so immensely proud of you and all that you've been able to achieve, not just on the stage of Israel level performances, but on the national stage as well. So from the Allen School, you went on to the community college, and now you're at the university. What is it that you're doing there at the university?
Well, I'm studying accounting and economics at the University of the West Indies. I actually just started. This is my second semester. And I do have intentions on studying music, should anybody have that question. That is actually one of the degrees I intend to study in the future.
But accounting and economics is so vastly different from drumming and entertainment and the like. Or is it so vastly different in your head?
Well, for me, I just work the two regardless. I love both of them, but drumming is honestly a first part. I would say regardless, any day you could ask me that anytime.
Yes.
Drumming is my love. So yeah.
So how did you find out that you were actually nominated? How did you know?
I actually got the email. Somebody told me they were going to nominate me as well. But then I got the email, and that started to send off all the, because just like the young lady before me, I too I had to do a little research on the National Youth Awards because this one was the first one.
In a decade, over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having not really been hearing about it or whatever, I then had to do a little research and see what it was. Even the award that I was being nominated for, the Boab Award. So yeah, I was very happy and very glad when they announced my name. I was shocked, just like the young lady as well.
Yes.
I sat down in shock. Actually, I was like, "Me? Okay, cool, nice." But yeah,
because at the time it just didn't make sense, right? It's like, my name, me, But then, how many other people were nominated in the category that you were?
I believe about 10 others. I'm not too sure. I can't recall the correct number, but there were a few others that were in the category myself.
And did you know any of them who were also nominated?
Yeah, I know a few of them. No, they don't get sore. They don't hurt. They are they are permanently swollen. I would say that, and most of Jimmy Colas would say that as well, because your hand tends to swell.
Yeah.
And from playing and playing and playing and playing and playing, sometimes you get broken fingers. Sometimes you get broken. Yeah, things like that happen, but no, it doesn't get sore. Wow. I would say they are seasoned hands.
You got that right. Hands that are for you. Definitely, indeed. And you do it so well, indeed. So congratulations to you, Zachary, as well. So now, knowing Zachary, I'll start with you, Zachary. Having this award, what do you think you now want to do, having received the award? And Ali, I'll ask you the same question. But Zachary, your response.
Well, now having the award, it is recognition. So now the work is to continue to, I would say, be in the limelight and now show others that they can put in that long and those decades of work. Because as you said, I've been here since 4 years old, so the Boab Award would definitely speak to me. So it would show that, there is length, that there's a length of time that you would be in it, and you just have to be patient with not just yourself, others, and the specific discipline that you're in, And the work that would now be needed to put in is going to be very hard, I would say, because it now comes to lead to recognition for not just myself, but the others that would now want to win this award in the coming future for themselves and others.
Yes. Aliyah, what about you? Now you have this award. What do you think it means for the future for you?
Well, for me at the moment, I am planning new projects that I will be working on this year as well. But for me, I just want to continue making these documentaries, telling people stories. And it means a lot for me to have this award. It encourages me to continue to do what I love.
Excellent.
And also get my equipment and so forth to move forward.
Well, we're here. Indeed, we want to celebrate your successes thus far, both of you, and congratulate you, really. Our commenters on social media are really, really happy with your awards as well. And we wish you only the very best. We acknowledge you today as two exceptional young people of Barbados on Morning Barbados. And we thank you so much for joining us today. Continue being the stars you're born to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. Aliyah Joseph and Zachary Bostic, two recipients of the National Youth Awards recently given. Right, as we prepare to head to the news, let's tell you who we are celebrating today as we stand on the shoulders of those of the past in our Black Experience or Black History Month. And we want to talk to you a little bit today about the contribution of this outstanding Jamaican, as a matter of fact, Jamaican-born nationalist and leader of the Pan-Africanism movement, Marcus Garvey, who sought to unify and connect people of African descent worldwide. In the United States, he was a noted civil rights activist who founded the Negro World newspaper, a shipping company called Black Star Line, and the Universal Negro Improvement Association, a fraternal organization of black nationalists. So to you, we say, remember the contribution of Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican-born black nationalist and leader of the Pan-African movement, indeed. It's on his shoulders that some of us stand. It's 7 o'clock. We are taking a break right here. We're coming back with the news in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch
football matches on Football Mondays at 9:03 p.m. right here on CBC TV8.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Well, in the news now, the 44th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in the Bahamas officially got underway last evening. Regional leaders and special guests, which included Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, gathered at the Atlantis Bahamas Hotel for the official opening ceremony. During her speech, Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, noted over the next few days the meeting would be focusing on the pressing issues for the region. One of these is the ongoing humanitarian and security situation in Haiti.
CARICOM and indeed the wider international community continue to struggle to help Haiti resolve its multifaceted crises. We will continue our efforts to assist all stakeholders in Haiti to ensure a Haitian-owned resolution to the crises. We will have to show the resilience and the fortitude of the Haitian people as we strive to overcome challenges and advance the initiatives to improve the lives of all citizens of our Caribbean community.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, says the country remains committed to strengthening the Caribbean single market and economy. However, he says this cannot be achieved without addressing the current state of intra-regional travel.
The reality is that it is too difficult and too costly for the people of the region to move and exercise their rights within the single space created for them to do so at optimal levels. For example, coming to this meeting in Bahamas is a classic case in point. Many of us had to fly to Miami, overnight there before taking a flight the following day to our destination here in Nassau, Bahamas. It takes no less than 24 hours to move from country to country within our region at times.
In other news, the Fair Trading Commission has set a deadline for the Barbados Light and Power Company to shut down its steam plant facility on the Mighty Griner Highway. It was one of the orders coming out of the FTC decision on the BLPC application for a rate increase. Hearing Commissioner and FTC Deputy Chairman Dr. Donnelly Carrington issued the order.
The Commission directs that BLPC shall discontinue operation of steam plant S1 and place the unit into reserve operation status through its retirement as soon as possible, but no later than December 31st, 2023. As such, the BLPC will include the steam plant S1 operating and maintenance costs in the calculation of costs recovered through the fuel cost adjustment recovery mechanism. The Commission will consider the prudency of and the recovery of fuel and operating costs associated with the steam plant S1 as part of its review of costs recovered through the fuel cost adjustment.
Dr. Carrington has instructed the utility to provide monthly reports for each generating unit as set out in the decision. There was also much discussion about the BLPC self-insurance fund. The FTC Deputy Chair says there needs to be an adjustment there as well.
We have asked Light and Power to put the money back into a regulatory liability account which they will amortize over a 30-year period. That will reduce the insurance expense as filed by Light and Power. So therefore, while they might have requested a $12 million increase or in their revenue requirement, 12 million, for example, of insurance costs, we have approved 8 million for the insurance expense because they're supposed to match some of that expense now by redepositing into the self-insurance fund.
Government, through the Minor Offences Amendment Bill, is not attempting to criminalize Barbadians nor stop them from enjoying the age-old pastime of kite flying. The legislation allows for people to fly a kite for as long as they wanted to, as long as it did not have a bull, given the nuisance at night. Minister of Energy and Business Development, Senator Lisa Cummins, says there's been a lot of debate on the bill in the public sphere, which she sought to address. She reiterates it prohibits the practice between the hours of 7 in the evening and 6 the following morning.
I don't think that this administration wishes to criminalize anybody for offences such as these, because they are by definition minor. By definition, they're minor. But here's what this legislation is attempting to do, because what we know, we talk about it in terms of project management, what is not monitored is not done. What is not enforced is not done either. And so in order for us to ensure that people understand the seriousness of selfishness in a society and the absence of consideration for others, these are measures that are put in here to ensure that people comply. It is meant to incentivize people to ensure that they comply with the amendment to the legislation and that they take their kite down.
Well, that's our news until now. We'll have more news on TV8 at 12 noon in the CBC Newsday. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker,
We're approaching 10 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock here this Thursday morning. As you know, Thursdays we share with you some exceptional young people of Barbados and the world. And this morning in particular, we're sharing with you some who are recent recipients of the National Youth Awards. And I mean, these are significant awards indeed. And so you met a couple earlier on. I want to share with you now the recipient of the Bambusa Award. This award is given to the entrepreneur who has shown enterprising approaches to the creation and sustainability of a business. And that's the man right there. His name is Kwame Dowrich. You're the recipient, Kwame, of the Bambusa Award in the National Youth Awards.
Yes,
congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What does it mean to you to be acknowledged in this way for the work that you've done?
To be awarded, as I said before to others that tell me congratulations, it's not only for me, it's for the team, because the Academy is filled with tutors, 10 tutors and ancillary staff, and is them. They make it possible for us to receive the recognition for the award. What is it that you do or have done? Well, the Mafia Plus Academy is an online math academy. We start from ages 9, we go to adults. And our focus is math, and helping students conquer math and understand math, not for only Barbados, but throughout the Caribbean. And so this is your effort, your baby, so to speak, or your team's baby. Yes, and you've been able to do so. How do you assess the success until now? Well, success. So we have had students ranking in the top 6% last year. for CXC, and we also have students ranking the top 100 for CXC. If I had to speak on primary school level, we had students increase their math grade by 100% in one term. And it all attributes to the tutor in itself for making the student more comfortable in understanding mathematics.
So your formula works. Indeed. How did you know that, at first place, that you were nominated for the award?
Well, I got a call from my YES officer from the YES program, and she was like, hey, you have been nominated. And I was like, oh my. Well, thank you very much.
Yes. But you had little expectation, did you?
Very little. Very little.
But you showed up at Frank Cullimore Hall and you sat there among everyone else and you're thinking, oh, well done, good for you, until the whole category came up. And the one for which you were nominated. How many other people were nominated in your category?
I think my category was the largest. I don't know the number. I was telling my little brother, I don't think I won it. But I was successful, and the academy won it.
Why did you think you wouldn't win?
Well, it's a low expectations, but I just work. The goal of the academy is to help students, and the award is a cherry on top.
You got that right. And so we're looking on our screens at the moment to you receiving your award from Kobe Brooms, I believe it is, who was presenting your award. And so the announcement was made, and it was you. And it was you for the work that you do. Butterflies, what was the emotion?
It was like, whew, it has passed. It has passed.
We get past this one?
Yeah, we get past this one.
And so there you were up on stage receiving your award. Have you given thought to what else you'd like to do with your academy?
Well, February is pretty packed. Today, actually, at 1 o'clock, the academy will be launching our annual 11 Plus mock exam. So at 1 o'clock today, if you go on our social media page, you will see that we have launched our 11 Plus mock exam registration, where on April 1st, we'll be doing the mock exam at the Barbados Community College. We did it last year, it was very successful, and what's going to happen is that students are going to come, do the 11 Plus mock exam in math, and then the following day, there's going to be a tutorial session for the students who came, so there'll be an online tutorial session where they'll be able to see what they did wrong, how they
raise
perform.
questions.
Yes, please.
Well, this is fantastic. What is it that motivates you to do this in the first place?
Well, in the first place, the Math Plus Academy was a UE assignment, where I had to create a business and monetize the business.
Yes.
So when I came home from university, I was like, hey, why not do it? But what keeps me motivated is getting calls from parents telling me, hey, my son or daughter really loves your classes. They're rushing home to get home to classes.
Yes.
Right, and it's really good. Not on me, but on the tutors for doing a great job.
You know, you could have done your UE assignment and said, okay, whoosh, got my degree, I'm done with that. I've done my assignment, got it, and let's move on to something else. But you've stuck with it. Absolutely. Why have you stuck with it?
I like to serve. So in my community, numerous individuals came out to ask for help in math. And before COVID, we were teaching at the Resource Center in Spikestone. We were in person. And COVID came, and then we gave lessons for free for 2 months during COVID because a lot of students still needed help, and it was a new space for us, and we never turned back.
Wow. Have you made a business out of it, or is this something you also do?
Well, it is the business.
It is the business.
It is the business.
And I ask that deliberately because a lot of times young people tend to think that they have to get into the traditional. And I'm grateful to know that there's so many young people who are thinking, I don't have to do the traditional jobs, the 9 to 4, the whatever the hours might be. And so what scares you about taking that leap of faith in yourself and your team to be able to sustain it?
Well, at first it was a case where I didn't want to take the risk because I believe in our society we don't like to take risks. But then I got to the point where I had to take the risk. You know, I have a team to help. You know, I have tutors that are mothers and fathers and our young people as well. So they depend on me to do what I do every day.
Yeah, but then you might have sleepless nights.
Yeah, very much so.
At the end of those days. Yeah. So, because you're constantly dreaming, you have to figure it out. They depend on you to help figure it out. And so, how do you manage yourself so that you don't yourself fall into the trap of feeling defeated?
Well, I have great mentors. I have 2 mentors, Donna Louisa, she's from Trinidad, a great business advisor, and Troy Holder. I got in contact with him from YES, marketing advisor, and every day before I go to bed, I write down what I have to do the next day.
Okay.
Right, so I try to keep myself on task every day.
That's tedious, isn't it?
Very much so.
I saw it in your face. It has to be, but there's a purpose for it.
Yes.
And you're seeing the results of that particular purpose.
Oh, we received the award.
You've got the award. You've got the award indeed. Having now received this award, what do you think it means for you and your future?
Well, not so much for me, but for the academy, because that is the focus. It means that the academy has been has been recognized, because a lot of people look down on online learning. But online learning is so wonderful, because students don't have to be on the road any hours a day. They be in comfort in their own home.
Right.
And the parents feel comfortable that their son or daughter is at home and comfortable. The parents get to see what's going on in class. Parents don't have the opportunity to see what goes on in classes at school. So parents get to see the opportunity to see what's going on in classes. So it's pretty good.
Sometimes it's just changing your point of view,
Yeah.
Just changing your, and you have been able to do so. You've been able to say, you know what, here's a situation, we didn't create it, but we can really make some hay while the sun was shining, so to speak. So we took the hay and we made some bricks, we made some blocks, and here it is, you're building as you go forward. And so strategizing is a team effort, no doubt. You sit with your team of tutors and you all work out, okay, this is what we're going to do. Is it only math that you do?
Well, lately we introduced class 3 and class 4, we do math and English.
Okay,
so that's a package for them. All right, from 1st to 3rd form, only math, only math. And then for 4th and 5th formers, we offer them physics and POA as a package.
It's a whole school, practically now. Talk to us a little bit about the value of understanding math from a very young age, and what those formulas mean for one's growth and success.
Okay, I can give you an example. I had a challenge with a student the other day, and she's in 2nd form, and I told her we're doing simple interest. And then you have to speak to students in a way that they understand. I would say, hey, if I borrowed $20 from you, and you asked me for $23, so what is the difference? And she couldn't answer the question. 2nd form taken away. So you really have to take your time and be patient with the students, because all dependent on their background and where they're coming from is a reflection of them. So you just got to be patient with every student.
And so the formulas that you teach help us to make math easy, to make math fun, because you apply it to everyday experiences, different transactions that we do.
Money, consumer arithmetic.
You can't go wrong there at all. Can't go wrong. So here it is now, you are the recipient of this award, and having received it, did you have relatives and family there with you at the time? Or just the team?
When I got the call, I just called home and said, hey, I was nominated for this, and there's a ticket, who coming? And luckily for me, someone came.
Right.
And my little brother came with me, and I'm grateful and thankful for it.
That is wonderful indeed. Kwame, we congratulate you. I want to thank you for taking the time to drive up here to come in here with us, indeed, too, also for us to celebrate with you this award that you've received, the Bambusa Award. Kwame Dowrich is his name. You are the owner of the
Math A+ Academy.
The Math A+ Academy, and today you're going to be launching your 11 plus
mock exam.
Yes, and we find you online
at Math A+ Academy, or you can go to mathaplusacademy.com, or even if you don't remember the name, go to search in Instagram and type in math, with the first one at the top of the list.
There you go. See, Calvin, a winner, first at the top of the list indeed. Kwame, congratulations, all the best. We had to recognize you today as one of our exceptional young people of Barbados. Thank you so much for what you've been doing.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're taking a break right here on Morning Barbados. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining.
21 minutes after 7 o'clock now, another recipient of another national award. This one is 17 years old. And every little boy dreams of building his own rocket ship, right? I'm sure he does as well. Giovanni Gittins is his name. He is the recipient of the Colin Hudson Award. And that award is given to him for his outstanding and innovative work in science and technology. Giovanni Gittins, and Nadia did it. Good morning to you, Giovanni.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Congratulations on receiving the award, the Colin Hudson Award.
Thank you so much. Actually, receiving the award, it was very nice, and it came to me as a surprise. I was just at school when my teacher came up to me and he was like, so I want you to tell me a little bit about what you do in robotics, because that's the main thing that I would have done.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, well, you know, I do this and I do that. And he's like, great. So I'm nominating you.
So simple, so easy, right? Wow,
Yeah.
One day at school and boom, it happened. What do you know about Colin Hudson?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know. And that is a problem. Actually, I would say that that's one of the good things about these awards, because the people who would have achieved greatly are now being brought to people's attention.
So now you do a little bit of research on him to see he was one of Barbados'
Right.
best inventors indeed. And so Giovanni, you're just 17 years old, a student of Harrison College. And so at this very young age, to be recognized for your entrepreneurship in what you do, engineering and creating stuff. Talk to me a little bit about what got you interested in the area that you're fascinated in.
Well, I became interested in robotics in, I believe, 2017 when I went to the Caribbean Science Foundation's Junior Robotics Camp. And truthfully, I had no interest in that camp at the beginning. I was sent there because of my mother, so I really do have to thank her, because I wouldn't be here had she not sent me there. But the camp in 2017, that was introductory to robotics. So they had VEX kits. Those are the kits that we see a lot in schools now. And from there, I learned programming. I went off on my own and I did different courses with the National Transformation Initiative, And yeah, it just continued from there. I started a robotics club at Harrison College and I just continued working.
So your mother saw the thing in you that she knew you could be. She sent you there, and ever since then, that passion has grown. What have you been able to create thus far?
Well, in terms of creation, I would say that I created the club, but in terms of physical robots, then I would say the most recent thing that we created would have been a robot that folds clothes. So we marketed it towards the elderly and the otherly abled, and the robot has 4 panels. It flips those 4 panels in a specific sequence to either fold shirts or pants, and it just makes life easier.
You got that right. You have, I wish I could have your robot now to help fold some clothes. So here we are, looking at a little bit of what you've been able to do and how your robot has been able to make life a whole lot easier. This is fantastic. Working to get it to do exactly what you want it to do, though. I mean, it must have been a lot of trial and error and, you know, failures, but success along the way. How much time did you put into testing it and making sure it works?
Way too much for my liking. Way too much for my liking. I remember that there were times me and my team, we were there at Harrison College up to 8 o'clock at night. And the guards, to say the least, they were surprised to come to the physics labs and see people there working. But after all the work, I would say maybe 20-ish hours, and then we got the award because we did a competition, the Caribbean Science Foundation's Caribbean STEM Olympiads. That's a regional competition, and this robot that you're seeing here actually got one of the highest honors. Well, the highest honor in the competition. That's the Platinum Award. So all this work, it did amount to something at least.
It truly, truly did. What do you want for yourself, Giovanni? I mean, here it is. You have your success. You can see it, physically see it in the development of your robot that folds clothes. And so what's next for you? Where do you project yourself within the whole sphere of your life?
Well, it's not so much where I project myself. It's more so where I project Barbados because
Ah.
the way that I'm seeing this is that I'm just using my gifts, I'm using my talent to help Barbados. I always say this to people, but my goal is to create an ecosystem. I call it an ecosystem. This is where man and machine would work together to make the task more efficient and more effective. So all of this robotics that I'm doing, all this STEM, all this technology, this is what I am doing to work towards this ecosystem so that we could create a better Barbados in the future.
I'm so glad that you've taken it away from yourself and made it about who we are as a people, Barbados. And so you're going to be using Barbados, no doubt, then as your template to be able to develop a whole set of different applications that would make life easier. Now, we've got the folding clothes robot. What other prototypes are you developing at the moment, if you don't mind sharing? I don't want to expose your ideas, but what other types of the prototypes are you and your team working on?
Well, given that we're in school right now and the exams are coming up, there are not many things that we're doing at this moment. Well, at least not many complex things. So right now we're doing a robot that would follow lines. So the theory is that if you have, let's say, a factory and you need a robot to get from one side of the factory to the other side of the factory, maybe you could just follow a line on the ground. So it's these little projects that we're doing that apply in the real life world. But something else that we're doing, which is not actually related to building the robots, is a plan. It's a program that we're working with the sixth form class at Harrison College. We're working to push for legislation for the implementation of robotics. The idea is that in order to create this ecosystem, of course, man and machine have to work together. They can't oppose each other. So what we're saying is that for businessmen who would see the opportunity to create more efficient and effective systems, they may want to replace people with the robots, but we don't want that. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, everybody has a job and that you can still pull on that efficiency from the robots, but nobody has to worry about not being able to feed their families. So we are creating this legislation, or rather we are working to push for this legislation, saying that perhaps maybe X% of people in certain jobs have to maintain that you cannot fire them, you cannot replace them with a robot, especially if it's a low risk job. So you're maintaining that ratio, making sure that everybody has a job and that you can still be benefited by the implementation of robotics. We are also working or planning to work with the Ashley Lashley Foundation on a robot for cleaning up the environment. So that is to tackle climate change, but that would be in the far future. I would say maybe coming on to the end of this year or early next year.
In terms of moving towards having this legislation, drafting the legislation that you'd like to be able to eventually to present to our leaders here on the island, how in depth is that kind of research and collation of information? How much work is it?
Well, it would have to be a lot of work because, of course, there are many factors that we wouldn't even know about as school students. So we are working closely with our teachers for guidance. We have 16 people on the team doing different things, working towards that. And fortunately, we were actually able to speak to a minister already. That's the Minister of Miss Davidson Ishmael. And he commended us on our work so far in terms of that legislation and working on that legislation, the research. So I would say that it is going well right now. We're just going to continue to push because this is a really important thing to do.
We're so fascinated by all the thoughts that you have in your head, Giovanni, honestly, because you're very forward-thinking, and it's clear that you have a purpose, you understand your purpose, and no doubt we believe you're going to execute it. Now, back to the folding clothes robot. Was that done to make life easier for you at home?
No, absolutely not. When we were thinking, well, personally, right, I would love to have that clothes folding robot here, but that was not the purpose. So when we were coming up with the idea for the Olympiads, we sat down and we said, okay, what are the problems in Barbados right now? Or what are the potential problems? And we realized that there are a lot of the elderly right now, and the non-communicable diseases and the disabilities, they're going up. The rate of them, they're going up. So we said, in an effort to combat this, what we would do is we would create a robot that would be applicable for the elderly. And we looked at them, we said, okay, well, maybe they're not as, they cannot fold clothes as much, you have arthritis. So we said, how about something that would help them? And we also wanted to focus not just on the physical aspect, but on the mental aspect. And we said that having a robot that would do completely everything. So it would take up the clothes, it would fold it, and it would put back down the clothes. That actually made them feel less self-reliant. And they became, I would say, depressed from our research. A lack of self-reliance made them depressed. So we said we at least wanted them to do something, and that's why we made it so that you would put the shirt on the robot, you would make sure it's in the right orientation, then it would do the folding and take the ease off of your hands, and then you could take it out and put it in the pile. So we made sure, again, this ecosystem where a man and a machine, they're working together. So it's not just one body doing something and the other body is being opposed.
We are convinced you are the true recipient of the Colin Hudson Award at the National Youth Awards. There you are receiving your award at the Frank Collymore Hall recently. Congratulations, Giovanni Gittins, student of Harrison College, just 17 years old. But you already sound so much in control of yourself, your thoughts, the goings on around us. And I love the fact that you're just interested in developing Barbados. It's not about you, it's about developing our island home indeed. And we want to thank you and to recognize you as one of our exceptional young people. Congratulations on the awards. Keep doing well what you're doing. We can't wait now for the legislation and some of the other creations that will flow from your mind thereafter. Thank you very, very much, Giovanni, for talking to us this morning.
Thank you, Harrison.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Giovanni Gittins is his name. This is a young man to watch. He's got a good head on his shoulders indeed. We're taking a break here. We're coming back with even more to celebrate this morning on Morning Barbados.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Matchback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. I can't wait to talk to this man here about this production that's coming up. It's a production in theatre. And in the theatre, you know how we express ourselves on stage, how we're able to tell a story and hopefully get the audience to be able to tap into exactly what we're talking about. What is that experience that we're talking about? We're talking about Manchild. It's being done by Neil Waith. Neil Waith is his name. He's the creator and he's the performer of the Manchild production. Neil, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How do you do?
I'm well. I'm very happy to be here. Very honored to be a part of Exceptional Youth.
Yeah.
Very honored to be still called a youth at 31 years old.
You're still young.
I'm holding on to it.
And you're doing it very well. Keep holding on, my brother. Keep holding on indeed. And I was just saying to our technical director, it's so ironic that you're on this morning. I didn't know you were going to be on today, but just yesterday alone, it surfaced in my stream of social media when I saw this whole concept of man-child. And I started to read it. I'm thinking, who is this man and what is this man-child about? This production, by the way, folks, is starting very, very soon, March the 3rd, the 10th, 3rd, 4th, 5, 10, you know, and on and on. You'll give me the details in just a moment. Tell me a little bit about the background behind Manchild, because you ask a number of questions.
Yes. All right. First of all, I've been doing this research for 5 years. This would have started in 2017 as part of a fulfillment of my Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. We are asked to research on a topic which moves us. And I spent about a year researching about artists, validation, I found out that a lot of med students are into music, and a lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people are artists, but it has been suppressed and repressed. About a year in, then I knew I was an artist, and my mentors always say, if you know the answer, you think you know the answer, ask a different question. So I stopped asking a question about being an artist, and I thought to myself, when did I become a man? And I realized I didn't know the answer. I didn't know if I was a man, and I started researching on Western rites of passages, and I wondered, what are the Barbadian rites of passage? So normally, Pearson, if I tell anyone the title, the rule is for the research and part of the oral tradition I'm doing is, I ask you, Pearson, when did you become a man?
You're asking me the question for real?
That is the question, yes.
But you're quite right in explaining what you just explained, because when I saw it yesterday, I saw the thing, what makes a boy a man? How does a boy know he's a man? And you're quite right, because time as it is right now, we just go through life, we have experiences, and before we know it, we're managing ourselves, we're managing what we're doing. And society tells us you are...
I like that.
Yeah, and society then tells us... managing. Yeah, I know you do. The use of the word man. And then, and then society tells us you are old enough. You have moved into becoming a man. And so because it's so seamless and almost not noticed, you acknowledge, you just accept it as is.
Yes.
So I really can't tell you it was on January the 18th, 19, whatever, that I became a man. I don't know. I just know that I am.
Beautiful. So you know that you are, and that is okay. And what I usually implore people to do is don't think too hard. Just think of maybe an event, think of an age, a happening. And what I've found in the last 5 years is that one that I always have to speak about that's not spoken about enough is that many men who have children, for them, once they find out the child is theirs, something inside of them turns on and activates.
Yes.
And the protection of that child, providing for that child, and also proving to society, their family, and themselves that they can take care for this child is of utmost importance. And I don't think that's spoken about enough about men in general.
You're quite right. As I said, there are a number of questions that you raised in the teaser you put on social media that triggered my interest in the, as I said, what makes a boy a man? How does a boy know he is a man? What if a boy never becomes a man? And do you know a man-child? All of these are questions that you're going to be tackling in the production. Talk to me now about the production, because the theme is that two boys fight to retain their manhood by any means necessary. What are we going to see when we come to watch the production?
Okay, so the whole play is an allegory, is a fight metaphor. So the research led me to realize and recognize and appreciate that in martial arts and in sports, this teaches a lot of what are the rites of passage, which are formalized in Eastern culture. So there are boundaries, there's an authority figure, there's losing, there's winning, there are challenges. So in this play, Tony Macaroni, that is the protagonist, is a bubbly, happy-go-lucky boy who is pressured to be tough and rigid and repressed. He is fighting at this fictional academy called Bricks Boys Academy. And he will be fighting another boy, Dari the Deadly. And this play is a one-person play. Don't call it a one-man show, because I still battling if I'm a man. But this play will see these two boys pitted against each other. So it's three characters, Tony Macaroni versus Dari the Deadly, and in the middle is Mr. Brugadong Bricks. He serves as the mentor, the sensei, the coach, he's the male voice.
Yes.
We also have not seen and not heard would be Daddy Macaroni, the father of Tony, who's in his head, and also the grandmother of Dari. So we just see this different elements of social makeup. So you'll see is action-packed. Myself will be transforming into a boy twice my size in Tony, bubbly and chubby, like a chubby bottle, and also twice much taller than me. Dari is 6 feet tall, he's muscular, he's the girl damn sugar, he's the leading run scorer, he's the MVP, he's everything.
Yes, yes. So when is the production? Where is the production?
Okay, the production is in partnership with the National Cultural Foundation, and it is coming off March 3rd, March 4th, March 5th, March 10th, March 11th, March 12th. The 3rd and the 10th are matinee shows. That means it'll be happening during the day. That is at 12 p.m. And that's very important for me. It was very important to tackle and really pinpoint and target school children and youth in general. Okay. So I specifically had matinee shows so that school children can get out and really see the work.
And where is it?
Sorry, Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre in Queen's Park. And that is, if anyone don't know, Queen's Park is in St. Michael, is also in Bridgetown, is also in Barbados.
That is a club too. All right. Now, obviously, admissions by ticket. Where can we soon go get tickets? Because I really want to come see this. I want to see you transform into these different characters as well. So where can we get tickets to come watch it?
Okay, so you can get tickets at Ticket Links. And the Ticket Links box offices are Soul Warrens, iMart in Sheraton, RCS Pharmacy in Bridgetown. You can also get tickets from the National Cultural Foundation. You can get tickets from Nubian Naturals, that is a hair salon, or you can get tickets from myself.
All right. This is really fantastic. On those days when they're not matinees, it starts at 7 o'clock, the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre.
Yes.
And the thing about theatre is that theatre, we need to be respectful of theatre. Don't turn up late. Turn up on time, as in early, and get your seat, sit, because when lights go on and the curtains open, the action starts, and you really don't want to miss a single moment of Manchild by that man Neil Waith, indeed. So we want to encourage as many of you as possible to go to the box offices and get your ticket. This one is going to be a conversation within yourself, particularly so that you understand better. And I think it's also important for women, mothers, to be there too, to help the rites of passage, because there's some single mothers who are dealing with their male children and they don't necessarily know how to deal with the rites of passage. This is a conversation for both of you as well. Encourage the younger ones to attend the matinees on the 2nd, I think the 2nd?
The 3rd and the 10th.
The 3rd and the 10th. Those 2 days.
So think of it, how I like to think of it, the 1st and 2nd weekend of March.
Yeah.
That's how I like to think of it.
Simple
Friday,
so.
Saturday, Sunday.
Correct. Done with that.
Yes.
We got it covered. So attend the matinees, but folks, adults, men and women, attend the shows as well. Get your tickets from any of the ticket offices. We just shared it with you on our screens. You saw it. You heard it from Neil himself, and I want to encourage you to get to know more. I found it on social media. You can find it on social media as well. Neil Waith is his name. Find him, and he will definitely be able to share with you more details as well. Neil, this is going to be a good production. I want to encourage my crew. Let me all go, see it as well, and everyone everywhere to just be at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre on those dates. Choose your date, but when you're choosing your date, go in your numbers and support this particular effort. Manchild, I'm hearing in my ear, we're coming. That means that they're coming. Neil, we got them, they're coming. We want to watch what you do, indeed. I think it's a good conversation point, indeed. What makes a man? How do you know the boy has become a man? And do you know any man children? Indeed, those are things that you really want to see to better understand how we are and how we develop as a people, the rites of passage, indeed. Neil Waith, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I wish you the very best with this production. We look forward to even more from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome indeed. Neil Waith, that is going to be a one-person production. He's playing all sorts of characters. It is going to be good. Check it out indeed. In the 1st and 2nd weekends of March, just now, in other words. We're taking a break right here. When we come back, you get a chance with me to unscramble some letters. Look out for it after this.
Good morning. Good morning.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxpack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
Football Mondays is on TV8. Catch more action from the BFA Premier League, giving you your football fix Mondays at 9:03 p.m. Stay locked and see featured football matches on Football Mondays at 9:03 p.m. right here on CBC TV8.
While you go about your business, we go about our business.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time for today's edition of Unscramble, brought to you by Family Choice. Family Choice provides a range of luncheon meats. They are so fantastic indeed. We'll tell you more in a minute.
Unscramble This, brought to you with the compliments of Family Choice, available from Massey Distribution Inc.
Yes, they are available from Massey Distribution Inc. Family Choice is locally made, locally manufactured, and they've been doing this now for around 30 years or more. I'm sure you know the brand, I'm sure you know the taste, I'm sure you know the applications of it. Family Choice. But if you don't yet, remember to get it in your supermarket today. It's budget friendly, as in very affordable. It's ready to use straight from the cupboard. You pop the tin and you're good to go. You can consume. You can have it as usual with your cheese and your wine, of course, and your macaroni pie as well. You can choose to do it on biscuits. I know there are people who like to eat their luncheon meats in bread and on biscuits. Some fry it up, even so. You can have it with your rice, you can have it with your eggs, you can have it in kebabs with vegetables, with bread and cheese. Oh, doesn't it sound delightful? That's what you're looking for when you head over to your supermarket. That's the brand. Look at it very carefully. Family Choice. That's the brand that you buy in luncheon meats. They have it in your store. If you don't have it in your favorite spot where you purchase, call them and let them know to contact Massey Distribution to get Family Choice in your shop, in your supermarket, in your convenience store as well. So, say it again. So we want to encourage you to do so as soon as possible. And so today's featured product is the smoked chicken and the one with the reduced salt chicken. Is that the one I'm reading? Good. So today's featured product is the smoked chicken and the reduced salt chicken luncheon meat. Smoked chicken and the reduced salt chicken luncheon meat. Chicken luncheon meat. So that's the whole point. You know, we're battling with all sorts of non-communicable diseases. Lower salt, less salt is good. And so Family Choice has a luncheon meat flavor just for you. If you want to go for that smoked chicken flavor, then you'd get that one. Family Choice. Remember, get it from your supermarket and your convenience shops today. Time to unscramble some letters. That means it's time for you to give me a call. Oh my goodness, look at what we started with. This is a big one, baby. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word can we make when we unscramble the letters that are on your screen at this moment? Look at it. That's a big one. I myself have no clue as to what it is, but if you sound right, I'll tell you all right, okay? 228-5562 or 228-5563. A big thanks to Family Choice. 228-5562 or 228-5563, the numbers to call. Tell me the word that you can make when you unscramble the letters you see on your screen. I know you guys are sharp, you are brilliant. As a matter of fact, you're very impressive. You're able to look at it and get it. That's a skill. And so I congratulate you on that. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine.
Don't listen to your TV, listen to your telephone, okay? Good to hear you.
Okay.
Where are you calling from?
Same for that.
Good. You have the remote near you?
The phone is a full distance. Oh, I mean the TV.
Yeah. Turn on the TV, correct. Good. So, Miss St. Philip, what's your first name?
Shirley.
Okay, what's the word you see do you think you can make with the letters on your screen?
Emancipation.
You sure?
Yes,
What makes you so certain?
because I can spell and it looks so.
Oh, really? I could spell and it looks so. Well, if you could spell emancipation for me.
EMANICAPATION.
I thought you told me you could spell emancipation for me. You spelled, yes, you did. But spell it again, though. I'll give you another try. Go ahead. Emancipation.
EMANCIPATION.
Now that is correct. The first time you went EMANIC, that's what you said.
Oh,
so you
did
know
I?
you did. If you, yes, you did. You did dead wrong. In other words,
I was
but
already
this time
there.
around,
I tried to come up of the room from the television. I was keeping noise.
that's all right. That's all right. So you see where you got to turn on the TV. Anyway, but you're absolutely right, Miss St. Philip. Well done, emancipation. Congratulations. All right.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
welcome. You have a good morning indeed. All right, new word on your screen, folks. Come on, figure this one out. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The numbers to call. This one, I think, is easy. I have it. Verily, verily, I say unto you, I have this one. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Do you have it? Do you know this one? Figure it out. Come on, solve it. Turn the letters around in all sorts of permutations. And then you give me a call. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. You have such a smile in your voice. It's really cool. What's the
I'm happy
name?
when I hear you.
Really? What makes you so happy to hear me?
This is Deborah calling from St. Lucie.
Deborah!
Hi,
yes,
darling.
indeed. Yes, madam. What word do you think this is?
I'm going to put it in a sentence. We have risen up from slavery.
Ha ha ha. Good girl, Deborah. Well done indeed. You're absolutely right. Slavery. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you too. Bye.
You're welcome. Take care now. Bye-bye. Deborah, she called me sweet word. I love it. Look at this one now. A new word on your screen, folks. A new one. Here we go. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Deborah and I grew up together. Yep. Years. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word can we make when we unscramble these letters on your screen? Ha ha ha. Got you good now, right? Got you good. But don't forget family choice. Family choice is your choice of luncheon meat. When you go to your store today, check out the smoked chicken luncheon meat, or you can check out the low salt chicken luncheon meat, and you get it today. That's the featured product today, all right? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
This is Mildred from St. Lucie.
My girl from River Bay, St. Lucie. Now impress me, Mildred.
Yes, please.
What's the word?
Rebellion.
How you know? How do you know?
Well, you could look at it and put the words around.
You can look at that. You can look at this by just watching your screen and tell me the word is rebellion?
Well, that is what I see.
Mildred, do you wear glasses?
Yes.
And have you been wearing glasses a few years now?
If I can do it?
Have you been wearing glasses for a number of years now?
Yes, please.
Man, you got good eyesight, Mildred. You're right. You're right. It's rebellion. Thank you here.
Okay, thank you. Right, bye.
You're welcome. Rebellion. This is going too quickly. So, shall we give, good, A, victims. But that's not the word. What word do you see? What word do you see when you look at these letters now? 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word do you see? Hey. Call me now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Figure this one out. What word do you see? So far, I'm getting some really good responses. I'm getting from a really beautiful parish as well. So tell me now, 228-5562 or 63. You can call from any parish. It doesn't matter where you are. You just call us and tell us. It truly doesn't matter. I'd love to hear from as many of you as possible, from as many parishes as possible as well. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Look at this. Look at life. Sweet Rods. You look too sweet, you red girl. You look too sweet indeed. Well done. You're welcome. What word is this? What word is it?
We all are victims of something or the other.
So we're victims of it?
Pardon me, the word is victims?
No. No. It is not that. Thank you, Sweet Rons. Thank you, Sweet Rons. No, that is not it. That is a dot. So we're going to hold this. We shall hold this. I'd like you to do your homework. I know when you do your homework, you'll get it right. We want to say a big thank you to Family Choice. Family Choice, of course, remember, the featured product today is the smoked chicken and the reduced salt chicken luncheon meat. Look for it today in your retail outlets. We're coming back in just a moment. Thanks, Family Choice.
Unscramble This, brought to you with the compliments of Family Choice, available from Massey Distribution Inc.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soap.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I have 2 minutes to tell you all of this. Now, where are we going today for Q in the community? It is, after all, Thursday, which is Q Day. For Q in the community today, which gets going from 11 o'clock, this morning we're going to Flash Zone Bar. Flash Zone Bar at the bottom of University Hill, in other words, by the roundabout, here in the corner. Flash Zone Bar is where it's going to be. Of course, you can go to the bus terminal, the Granville Williams bus terminal, gate number 1, and take the Q bus, which takes you to location, and it takes you back in the evening indeed. So that's where Q in the community is today. Wear your red, come in your Valentine colors indeed, and let's celebrate the love indeed at today's edition of Q in the community Flash Zone Bar. Now, we also want to remind you that coming up this Sunday is going to be the Colin Hudson Memorial Great Train Hike. The Colin Hudson Great Train Hike starts at 6 o'clock in the morning from Independence Square, and you're going to be following that, tracing that train track, that railway, abandoned railway, all the way to Belle Plaine St. Andrew. That's happening on Sunday. Remember, it starts at 6 o'clock from Independence Square. Also, I want to let you know that tomorrow morning, bright and early, get up early here, because I don't want you to miss any when we come to you live from Whole Town for the Whole Town Festival tomorrow morning. So we're going to be live in Whole Town St. James, all of the action in celebration of the 46th year of the Whole Town Festival. So that action coming to you live tomorrow morning right here on Morning Barbados. We look forward to seeing all of you then. That's it for today. Thanks to my producer Nadia Foster, technical director Roel Ford, sound engineer has been Michael Sobers, and at Master Control Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Bowen. From each of them to all of you, we say thank you. Join us tomorrow morning bright and early. See you then. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.